Alright, so here we are in assembly. So again, to get to that, I just went to new and assembly, and in order to start our actual assembly is you actually go up to this little upper left hand corner and click place, and the first one that you're going to want to place is your body. Okay, so make sure that you have the body placed first. If you end up making a mistake where you placed another one first, like say you placed maybe your axle peg. Okay, I'm just going to place 4 of those first. Say you end up placing those first or whatnot, that's fine. What you want to do is check to make sure that the body itself actually has a pin so that it's grounded. Okay, so that's indicated by the actual pin on this over right here on the icon, so that it won't move. So if I actually grab this, notice how a pin shows up. Okay, so I can't actually move that body, whereas if I grab these axle pegs, I can move all of them. If that ended up happening where you place something first, you can just go back, right click on it, select grounded, so like now axle peg number 2 is grounded, so I can't move that. Okay, so make sure you only have one grounded object before you start assembling. So right now it would be the body. Okay, and then what you're going to do is actually go ahead and place. So I have the cow catcher, and I'm just going to place these hitch magnets, only one, hitch peg, yep, just one. The light, I actually made a light for mine, so I can place that in there. Linkage arm, I have 2 of those. 4 pegs, special linkage peg, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have a smokestack, and obviously 4 wheels. Okay, so it's probably best if you place all 4 of them, or all your parts in there at first. And the easiest thing that you're going to do, basically pretty much all these constraints are going to be inserts. So again, when you click constrain, you don't want to do mates, you want to do an insert. Okay, and remember to select what 2 edges do you want to face each other. Okay, so like if I'm looking at this light, I want that back edge of the light to be on this back edge right here. So actually inside that drill hole, so I'm going to go ahead and I can apply that. So now I can't move that. Okay, and I can't move the body. So that's what I want. I want to end up having all my pieces so that if anything, all they do is spin. I'm actually going to do the cow catcher first, and the easiest thing to do with this is to actually select one of these pegs. Okay, so one of the side pegs, not the center peg itself, so not this one, but either this one or this one that's being covered up by the bolt right here. Okay, so when you select this, the insert, make sure that you either be sure of which one you're selecting. Okay, I always tell kids, make sure that you have this back one so it's along the flat face right here, because that's actually going to go against the body right here. Otherwise, if you end up selecting this edge right here, you have to actually look inside of this hole and select that edge right there. Okay, so what we're going to do, like I said, is select this back face right there, and I have to think about when I actually spin this, is this peg going to be in this hole or in this one over here? Because otherwise, if I end up putting it in the wrong spot, I'm going to actually have my cow catcher inside the body of the train. Okay, so when that spins around, it's going to be located on this one. So I'm going to select this outside edge, and I'm going to hit apply. Now notice how I can go ahead and move this. So what I want to do now is basically constrain this and insert that last peg into this hole right here. Now this is why we end up having you do the outside one and not the center, because if you selected the center first, it'd be a little bit difficult to try to get this. So this way you can really spin this out so it's hanging off. Spin so you can see the back side of that peg. Insert backside there, and I'm going to find this one right here. Okay, apply, and now that is unable to be moved. Okay. The next part would probably be the actual wheels themselves. That's the easiest. And same type of thing. You're going to do an insert, and you want to make sure that you're looking on the back of the wheel. Okay. So I'm inserting, and this is the back face of the wheel. So this is the side that faces out, and then this is the side that faces towards the body. So I'm just going to go ahead here, and I'm going to click that wheel right there so I can apply. So notice how it moves around like it should. Okay, so it doesn't move up and down, it just spins how a wheel would in real life. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Insert that one there, apply, and do that for the other two as well. Insert there, apply, insert that one here. Okay, and as long as I'm in this view, I can go ahead and take these bolts. Same thing, I have to make sure that I'm selecting the underside of this face, so either by this ridge here or this ridge, because it's the same ridge, or it's on the same plane. I just need to make sure that it's either going to be this one or this one here, not this top one, because otherwise your bolt again is going to be inside the actual wheel. So I'm going to go there, insert that, hit apply, and just keep doing that for these other ones. Okay, now that I have those all set, I can do my smokestack. Make sure I have a mate or an insert, and this one is a little bit trickier, so I have to go back. Number one, I want to select the bottom edge, and it's going to be the bottom edge of that hole right there. So I can apply a magnet, same thing, that back edge. Oh, and I forgot to end up making that hole. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and if we have time, what we'll do is just go back into the body. So let's save this first. Let's do save that. Okay, so I can go back into the actual body, spin around to this back side, and go back up to the body. Where is that? Right there. Okay, so there's my hole, the body for the actual hitch peg. I'm going to create another 2D sketch right there. So create a point. I'm going to project my geometry since I've already rounded over my edges. That was 0.375. Okay, and just to double check, make sure it's center. That's 1 inch. So that's fine. I have that. I finish my 2D sketch. Make a hole, and it's going to be a diameter of 1/4 inch to a depth of 1/2 inch. So diameter 0.25, depth is 1/2 inch. I can go ahead and I can save that. And what it's doing right now is it's actually updating it instantly in the assembly. So I can actually close out of this, and there's my hole. Okay, so I don't have to actually go back and replace that and redo all my other constraints. So I'm just going to insert that there. Okay, hit apply. My magnet. Make sure I can see the underside. This. That goes there. Hit apply. Okay, last what I want to do is the actual linkage arm. So same thing, I want to take the inside of this linkage arm here, and now again it's not going to be this top side, it's going to be that bottom side. Okay, so I apply those two together. Now for this, I lucked out and it snapped right on, but you want to move that out, and I could either spin so I can see the back side of this, or since I can see the front, I'm going to click the front side of that. So this top edge is going to be flush with that top edge. Do an insert. Oh, my constraints are off. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is I am going to have to go back and spin on the back side. So my must be something with my thickness at one point. Okay, so I can hit apply and do the same thing. Let's see, do the same thing for this other one. We'll go back here, apply, spin around to the back side. And hit apply from there. Now what I can do, so if I move these, notice how they spin. Every once in a while, if I can get it, it'll actually jump. Oh, I just had it. Where it'll jump out of line. So what I can do is I'm going to constrain these. So my angle and okay. So my angle, and I want to make sure, actually just to mate. I want to make sure that I have a 0-degree angle between this top surface here and the top edge of this. Okay, that's this one. So I have to select this solution right here. So direct angle, 0 degrees. Hit apply. That way, what it's saying is that this edge right here and this top edge right here are always going to be 0 degrees, or they're always going to be parallel with one another. If I flushed it, what it would do is it would make these two straight, and I wouldn't actually be able to spin these at all. Okay, so like here, if I show you on this one, if I actually did a flush with this surface and that surface, hit applied, try to grab it, I'm unable to move that. So what I actually have to do, like I said, is constrain, have an angle, and that surface there, apply. That way now I can move all these. Last step here is to actually constrain, insert the underside of my linkage pegs inside that hole, and do that for all 4 of them. And once I got that, I think that should, that clears. So once I have that, then my train's all set. And if you're past this point, then you can go ahead and actually create the track part and actually see if you can get it to ride along the track.